Today we're going to try something that I've never done before, and that's making a skate mold out of wood. I've made one out of concrete way back in the past, and that was fairly easy. Using an uncut skateboard deck, I was able to make it. This time, it's out of wood and I have no templates. DIYskate.com was the place that you would go to basically learn how to create your own decks at home, your own presses at home, a whole lot of things. They shut that website down apparently, and I missed it by a few weeks, and I really needed that template, but I don't have it. So what I did was end up tracing a deck to get the concave shape, and I made pretty much my own little template from a deck. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna try it and see. This is what it used to look like on their website, but it would actually have these you can print off as one sheet and then tape them together. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. So we're just gonna be using this as a mock way to do it. Total of 7 2x8s that we're cutting, and I have to make sure that they go in order like this so I can get the right concave shape. I already have this one labeled as an outer. As you can see, it has the most concave. This is going to be a middle section, ignore the silver, but it'll have very mellow concave. This is going to be the center, which is pretty much just all straight. It'll have a little bit of that curve there and curve here, but for the most part it's going to be almost flat and straight. This one here is another outer, but I'm debating on either putting this one on the far outside or the second to the furthest on the outside. It's pretty much the same exact shape as the first outer I showed you, but I might cut it up a little bit more here and make it more concave. Again, I don't know if it's gonna work. We're just gonna try it and see. And the way that I traced this was, got one of my good skate decks that has really good concave, put some 2x4s in the back of it to hold it straight, and then pretty much centered it off of my 2x8. My 2x8 is 36 inches long. You could make it 35 inches. It realistically only needs to be 34 for the veneers, but I made mine 36 just so I have a little extra playroom. Centered it, have it marked here with a silver Sharpie, same thing here, and this is 3 inches from here up, 3 inches from here up, and that should be technically centered, and then I would get my pencil and make the line. So yeah, hopefully it works out. If not, well, this is gonna suck and I wasted some money, but we're gonna try it and see. So this is pretty much how it's supposed to look. Now I just have to go and make 6 more, all with different concaves. There's going to be 2 of this exact style, and then one that's either more aggressive or less aggressive, and then another one that's less aggressive, and then one that's pretty much just all mellow. But I think so far it's working out. We're on to the center section right now. I'm gonna try to keep it flat and kind of mellow, and hopefully that works out. I've got everything labeled so I know where they're going, and they're slowly kind of staggering down, but not 100%, and I think that's because of how I traced it. So we'll have to fix that whenever we go to sand it and put Bondo on it. But yeah, it's slowly turning into a mold. I still have to make duplicates of that side. Or actually all 3 of those. I went ahead and finished cutting the last of them. So this is pretty much the mold. Now all I've got to do is glue everything together and then put some screws through it. This piece I may end up redoing. It actually goes way too low right here. and it should actually go above the centerpiece. So that one might be an issue. Over there, it turned out perfectly fine. As you can see, they're all kind of different sizes. I'm hoping that I can even all that out and put some Bondo to make it pretty much 100% smooth. And that's what I might do on this as well to fix it instead of having to recut this entire piece, because it takes forever. But let's go ahead and glue them together and then screw them all together as well. We got one side of the mold done. Now we have to do that side, and then I'll probably come back in another video and actually sand all this smooth, because that's gonna take forever and I don't want to do that today. So we're just gonna keep working on that one over there. Now we have the second part of the mold all set and put together and done. You'll notice I have a little bit of a gap here and a little bit of a gap there, and that's because the wood is slightly warped. So whenever we go to fill it, that will be okay, but that's the best I can get it. I could have probably screwed through that way and it would have pulled the wood, but I didn't do that. So I think this is good. Worst case scenario, if that side over there does not turn out good, I can use this one as a vacuum seal and it will work great, because I think this one is a lot better than that one, but we won't know until we go to sand everything. We're on day 2 now. I've got my little grinder with a flap disc on it, so we can try to sand through all of this very, very quickly and take away the amount of sanding that I have to do. Not sure how it's gonna turn out, because I'm not 100% set that this is the best way to do it, since it was all done by eyeball measurements. I really wish the DIYskate.com template was still available, but we're just gonna try to wing this and hopefully it works. That's pretty much what this whole video is gonna be about, is just winging it, which I'm good at most of the time. This creates a really, really big mess. I mean, I am literally covered in sawdust right now. My whole arm is pretty much made out of wood at this point. It's pretty bad. But here's the mold, and it's definitely not perfect, but it's working. These three ended up turning out really good along with the center section, so I'm happy with all those. This one is just slightly lower, so I'm hoping whenever I go back in with some Bondo that I can kind of smooth this whole section back out and then make it even with this side, because this all flows and feels really good and actually feels like a deck. This is just a little too low, which would mess up the concave, so raise this up just a tad bit and smooth it back out. A lot more sanding to go, but this so far is working a lot better than I thought it would. I went ahead and put the top mold on the bottom mold, and as you can see, it's really not too bad. And definitely whenever we do the Bondo on another video, it's gonna help fill in some of those gaps that might not be touching, like right here. So I think that's pretty good. It looks like a skateboard deck. It has a lot of concave like a skateboard deck, so I hope that works. This is the other side, and as you can see, there's a little bit more of a gap, but I think it's because it's not 100% stable or sanded in the correct spots. So once I fix that little wiggle, we should be able to firm it up. But that's still pretty close. Definitely not bad for a first ever attempt at doing this. Just like usual, that brings us to the end of today's video. So I want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to be turning this into a series, I guess. There will be a second part here pretty soon of doing Bondo or filler or something, I don't know. I might do a fiberglass layer on top. Again, I don't know if that's gonna work or if that's gonna do anything, but that would make it technically stronger and last a lot longer. So let me know down in the comments below if I should do that or not, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I've only ever made one other skateboard mold, and it was out of concrete. So this is all new to me, and I could be teaching you the wrong thing, but we won't know until I actually press my first deck. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully I am teaching you correctly. But like I said, that is gonna be it for today's video. So again, I wanna say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy the content, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and then make sure you comment down below so you can enter to win any of my giveaways that I do. I host them every month if you didn't already know that, and we give away cool free decks similar to those right here that I still have to send out. I'm still waiting for one more person to respond, but 3 out of 4 did respond, and I just have to mail them out, so that'll be good there. Anyway, we're gonna end it here before it gets way too long, so I will see y'all on the next one, whatever the next one is. Y'all stay awesome. Later, guys.